I'm going to craft a completely original YouTube-style script inspired by the topic, but not a rewrite. Expect heavy, personal commentary. Think of me thinking out loud on camera as we unpack Chamique Holdsclaw's upcoming Osaze Osagie Memorial Lecture and what it means for mental health conversations in Black communities. What's up, everyone? Today we're diving into a moment that feels bigger than sports. Chamique Holdsclaw stepping into the spotlight for the Osaze Osagie Memorial Lecture. If you don't know Chamique's story, you're about to hear a chapter that blends elite basketball with a raw, unfiltered look at mental health under pressure. Personally, I think her voice matters here because it's not just about wins and highlights. It's about resilience, vulnerability, and using platform for real change. Here's the frame I'm using today. A. Who Chamique is beyond the trophy case. B. Why the Osagie Memorial Lecture exists and why this year matters. And C. What a public conversation about mental health in Black communities actually looks like when you bring in a world-class athlete and a documentary filmmaker's lens. First, who is Chamique Holdsclaw? For many, she's a Hall of Famer who dominated the court in the 1990s and early 2000s, a symbol of excellence at Tennessee, and a trailblazer in women's basketball. But the deeper story, her struggles with mental health during her playing years, humanizes the legend. What makes this really interesting is how she's chosen to channel her experiences into documentary storytelling, culminating in Mind/Game. The Unquiet Journey of Chamique Holdsclaw. In my opinion, this isn't just a biographical film. It's a case study in processing trauma publicly, which is rare and incredibly brave. A detail I find fascinating is how the film reframes competitive intensity as something that can become a doorway to healing rather than a cage. Now, the Osaze Osagie Memorial Lecture series itself. It started in 2024 to honor Osaze Osagie, who tragically lost his life during a mental health crisis in 2019. The aim, as stated by Penn State's College of Liberal Arts, is to advance research and support Black communities through these conversations. If you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just a lecture. It's a public acknowledgement that mental health crises don't discriminate by fame or background, and there's work to be done in how institutions respond. What this raises a deeper question about is, how do universities and media platforms collaborate to destigmatize mental health in real, actionable ways? Event-wise, Holdsclaw will speak March 31st in Robb Hall at the Hintz Family Alumni Center, with a screening of Mind/Game on March 30th and a lunch and learn on March 31st. All events are free, but registration is required for the screening and lunch session. Here's the practical takeaway. Public access lowers barriers, and that matters because visibility invites dialogue, which is the first step toward change. From my perspective, the timing feels intentional. Nearing the end of a college year, a moment when campuses are already buzzing with conversations about identity, trauma, and community support. Let's talk structure and what this adds to the broader conversation. The lecture isn't simply about Chamique's career. It's a platform to explore how mental health intersect with elite performance, public perception, and accountability. A key idea I'm extracting is that storytelling through documentary work can be a catalyst for systemic awareness. What many people don't realize is that sharing a personal journey publicly often creates a ripple effect. It normalizes seeking help, it invites others to share their own experiences, and it pressures organizations to implement real support structures. From a media analysis angle, this event strategy, live talk, film screening, and an interactive lunch and learn creates multimodal engagement. It's not just watching a documentary. It's participating in a dialogue that can translate into campus resources, policy suggestions, and community outreach programs. One thing that immediately stands out is how the format invites a spectrum of audiences. Fans who know Chamique's legacy, students exploring mental health, and community members seeking practical resources. In my opinion, that blend is where impact happens. What this really suggests is a broader trend. Athletes and public figures leaning into their own mental health journeys as a form of social advocacy. This isn't about self-promotion. It's about responsibility, to use influence to illuminate gaps in care and to push for accessible support. A detail I find fascinating is how the conversation shifts when you pair a personal narrative with data, policy discussion, and community programs. It moves from, "I'm okay," to "what systems failed, and how do we fix them?" So why should you care whether you're in London, Lagos, or Los Angeles? Mental health in Black communities is a global conversation, and preparation, empathy, and shared strategies travel well across borders. The Osagie Lecture embodies a microcosm of that. A highly visible figure offering vulnerability, a documentary that frames lived experience as knowledge, and a university-backed platform to translate storytelling into tangible action. If we zoom out, a few big-picture reflections emerge. First, the potential for such events to destigmatize mental health in sports and academia is enormous, but it requires ongoing follow-through, not just a one-off talk. Second, Chamique's narrative shows that healing isn't linear. Triumphs on the scoreboard can mask private battles. Acknowledging both is essential for a holistic view of what it means to be an elite athlete in the modern era. Third, the public format invites a broader audience to consider how to support friends, teammates, classmates, or colleagues who are navigating mental health challenges, something many people underestimate in its complexity. To close, here's a thought you can carry forward. Conversations about mental health should be as normalized as talking about training regimens or game strategy. When a figure like Chamique Holdsclaw chooses to share, it creates a space where dialogue becomes action, where policy, community programs, and personal courage intersect. So I'd love to know, what part of Chamique's journey resonates most with you? And what small action can you take this week to support someone facing mental health challenges in your circle? If you want more context, I'll be keeping an eye on how the Mind/Game documentary frames the arc, from pressure to healing, and how the Osagie Memorial events translate these stories into concrete community resources. See you in the comments with your takes, and don't forget to subscribe for deeper dives into how personal stories reshape public conversations.